ladies and gentlemen, this is Tough Tony here, and tonight was WWE's Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, live from New Orleans, Louisiana, Nolans as the natives call it, Louisiana. I would first want to start off by saying it's great to have JR on commentary, and the only reason he's on commentary because Mark Henry decided to give a World's Strongest Slam to Jerry Lawler like last week. So let's get this thing started. First match, we had Sheamus versus Christian. This is my thing with these two. They've been kind of working over this whole little rivalry between the two. Now, as far as I can remember, I always enjoyed Christian as a heel. I always liked Christian as a heel. Sheamus as a good guy, I'm still trying to get used to. This match was pretty damn competitive. I mean, Christian was really actually looking good. He didn't look like shit like he normally does the last couple matches that he's had. Sheamus as a good guy. Actually, as a matter of fact, Sheamus has gotten a little bit better, seeing as how he doesn't have to always dish out the punishment. It's good to see that Sheamus can actually take punishment. Sheamus, like most big guys that Sheamus' sides with his moniker, like guys like Batista and Goldberg, guys like that, they can't sell a move. You can beat the hell out of them and they can't fucking sell. Sheamus sells very, very well. This was actually a pretty good start for the pay-per-view. And too bad the rest of the night did not follow suit. I give this match pretty much a 4 out of 5. The ending was Christian actually hit a spear on Sheamus on the outside. They went back into the ring. Christian pretty much countered all the Sheamus finishing moves, like the Celtic Cross, which is just that crucifix powerbomb. But isn't Finley's finishing move the Celtic Cross? Who the hell? I mean, last time we seen Finley. Christian went for a spear, missed it, got hit by the turnbuckle. Sheamus kicked him for the 1, 2, 3. I give this match, like I said, a 4 out of 5. Next we have Sin Cara versus Sin Cara. I like to call him Sin Cara Blue versus Sin Cara Black. I kind of like Sin Cara Black. Sin Cara Black is a little bit taller, maybe a little bit bigger. Then you figure you have Sin Cara Black, who trying to imitate the real Sin Cara, but can't do any real luchadoric high-flying stuff. He's more like a ground-based power guy. This match was, like I said, I'm not really getting into that whole Sin Cara thing. I never have. I never will. This match was, I want to say boring, but the fans really weren't as into it as they used to be during Sin Cara's matches. But at least Sin Cara didn't box today. The blue one managed to roll him up in some kind of, one of those Canadian Destroyer sunset flips just without the impact. So that's how the blue, supposedly real Sin Cara, won this match. I give this match a 3 out of 5. Next up, we have WWE Tag Team title matches. Air Boom, the team of Kofi Kingston and Evan Bourne versus the U.S. champ the U.S. champ Dolph Ziggler and his partner Jack Swagger, all accompanied to the ring by Vicky Guerrero. Now, this is one thing that got me noticing about this. I think Jack Swagger has wrestled Evan Bourne more times than Flair has wrestled the Dragon. And then every other match with Dolph Ziggler is against Kofi Kingston. You put those two in matches, they still can't have good matches, no matter how many times they try. Then you put them all in a tag match where they have an equally shitty match. So I don't know what the hell is up with WWE's booking and writing team, but hey. Kingston and Evan, they're real high flyers. They're spotters, they're high spot type of guys. Swagger and Ziggler, they kept the match going pretty good. Especially, how it has a tag team match always. The tag team matches have been the same since the dawn of time. You have good team versus bad team. One of the smallest of the good guys always gets beaten up by both of the guys of the opposing evil team. Then, of course, there's a hot tag. They go back and forth. It's kind of funny because Evan Bourne hit Ziggler. I mean, he hit Jack Swagger with a sunset flip for a pin. And Ziggler tried to break it up, and Kofi Kingston grabbed his leg to prevent that. So that was kind of good, give Ziggler a taste of his own medicine. And they retain the tag titles. Vicky, of course, is pissed. I know to this day, I don't even know why the hell she still has a job with the WWE. She's probably the worst manager, period. I can't fucking stand her. I can't fucking stand her. She got about 40 pounds liposuctioned out of her, and she thinks she's all that. Now, keep in mind, I have no problem with that, because I like the bigger women, but she would be fine if she didn't open her mouth. I give this match a 3.5 out of 5. Next up, we have the World Title match, Hell in a Cell. One of 2 Hell in a Cells at a pay-per-view called Hell in a Cell. Mark Henry versus Randy Orton. Now, before I want to start off with this, I wrote down a couple notes. I wanted to make a point I remember how Hell in a Cell used to be an object that would to finish rivalries, an intense hatred between 2 men. I remember it was there to end rivalries and destroy and kill careers. Now Hell in a Cell has been demoted to nothing more but just another overrated gimmick by the WWE, much like WrestleMania. Yeah, I said it. Now, it seems like it's more like a glorified, like I'll say everything about WWE is like glorified after-school fight. It's a glorified fight in a playground on a jungle gym. That's basically what I think the Hell in a Cell is now. A fucking jungle gym. No bleeding, no blood, not as intense as it used to be. And it's such a damn shame. Thank you, Linda McMahon, for fucking ruining your husband's product. Now, this funny, Mark Henry was very, very methodical, and this is probably the best I've seen Mark Henry as of late. He worked on Orton's back. He worked on his arm. He really beat the fuck out of Randy Orton in his match. Randy Orton was the proverbial David versus Goliath. He power slammed him on the outside. He fucked Randy Orton up. For lack of a better term, he fucked him up. He tried to give him a world's strongest slam on the gate. Orton countered it, jumped on it, started stomping him in the head. He gave him that spike DDT on the steel steps, and then that's when it was all Orton. Because Mark Henry went like on damn near a 10-minute bout of offense. Then Orton started fighting back. He hit him with that neck breaker from in between the ropes. I like to call it the cutthroat neck breaker. That's what I call it. Then Randy Orton started feeling it. He hit him with an RKO, and surprisingly, not surprisingly, but Henry kicked out. Randy Orton got that faraway look in his eyes saying, what do I have to do? Orton was going to go for a punt kick. And I said to myself, as soon as he was going to do it, I said, I picture him missing and Mark Henry picking him up and slamming him. That's exactly what happened. He went in, Henry seemingly got a rush of adrenaline, picked him up, world's strongest slam, retained the world title. Now I'm saying to myself, damn, could it be that Mark Henry can really be legit? Could he really be a legit champion? I mean, it's been a long time since we actually seen one of those in the WWE outside of Randy Orton and John Cena. And Alberto Del Rio was in one anyway. And I'll get next to that, and I'll talk about that fucking son of a bitch later on in this video. After the match, Randy Orton went berserk on Henry with a chair, but his match gets a 4 out of 5. It's a shame it's the last one that I will be giving up. Next up, we have Cody Rhodes coming out to the ring, talking about how he want to bring this prestigiousness back to the Intercontinental title. He talks about all these greats that have ever held it, Steamboat, Savage, all those guys. His father never held it. And now it's Ted DiBiase's father. But he pulled out, surprisingly, he pulled out the all-white, he pulled out the classic Intercontinental Championship, the version of the Intercontinental title that they were using before this one. He said, yeah, guys like The Rock and Austin held it. But what surprised me is that he pulled it out and it was on white leather. And out of all the names that Cody Rhodes was naming, he never said Shawn Michaels, the guy who brought the white leathered Intercontinental belt to the dance in the first fucking place. John Laurinaitis comes out and says he's going to defend the Intercontinental title against John Morrison. This match was not one of John Morrison's best. It was pretty much a rushed match. If you blinked, you would have missed it. Wasn't really anything bad to say about this match. Wasn't really anything good. I'm pretty sure if they planned it and had more time, it probably would have been awesome. I give this match maybe 2.5 out of 5. It really wasn't all that good. Morrison tried to hit that springboard side kick that he usually does. He missed, and Cody Rhodes just rolled him up for the pin. Yeah, that's basically how that one went. Next up, we have for the third month in a row a fucking pay-per-view. Beth Phoenix versus Kelly Kelly for the Divas title. Eve Torres with Kelly, Natalya with Beth. This match wrestled out just like the other two matches they had. The only difference is that Kelly had a little bit more fight in her this time. Beth put her in some sort of submission hold. She wrapped her legs, crossed her legs together and grabbed her like some sort of bow and arrow, electric chair on the ground or something like that. Natalya talking shit to Kelly. Kelly got to the ropes. Natalya hit her upside the head with a microphone right into the glam slam by Beth Phoenix. And finally, third time is a charm. You can't let Beth win in her hometown of Buffalo, but you can let her win in New Orleans, Louisiana. Great WWE. See, I love how WWE loves to bring new fans to the table by giving them the same old shit that nobody with half a brain, with no one with a developed mind could possibly like. Because trust me, the kids that they promote this shit for, their minds aren't 100% developed yet. And keep in mind, these people are going to get older than where the fuck WWE is going to be. Hopefully in the ground where it fucking deserves to be. 2.5 out of 5. Next and last, the triple threat match Hell in a Cell for the WWE Championship. Alberto Del Rio, the flop of a champion who got the rug pulled up under him, versus CM Punk, the guy who was the best thing that's going on for the WWE in the last 6 years, who's get buried, not pushed, not promoted by Triple H. Well, Triple H never really helped get over anybody unless it's a friend of his. He never helped. The only people I actually seen Triple H get over was Sheamus and Batista. He never wanted to do anything with Orton. Fuck Triple H. Fuck him. I never liked Triple H. I'm gonna do a rant on him next week too, man. Fucking dumbass Triple H. God, I can't fucking stand him. But anyway, this match, even with all, then you have John Cena on top of that, who always remains the same no matter what the fuck is going on in the company. This match had much to be desired. I mean, if Alberto wasn't in it, it would have been a much better match. It really didn't live up to the potential that a one-on-one match could have been. But, CM Punk had to get his rematch sometime, Damn, this fucking chair. But anyway, next thing you know, CM Punk got put through a table. Alberto gave sidewalk slams on chairs. It was just pretty much a back and forth clusterfuck of a match. For some odd reason, Ricardo Rodriguez got out, opened up the cage while knocking out the ref. He handed Alberto a pipe. Cena came down and fucked up Rodriguez with the attitude adjustment. Alberto hit Cena with a pipe and locked the door with him and Punk in there. He hit Punk with the pipe 3 times, the last time in the head, and covered him for the WWE title. And once again, we have the most inept son of a bitch on the roster, second only to John Cena as WWE Champion, when there's so many fucking deserving people. Yeah, and I wonder why Raw's ratings have fucking steadily dropped from where they were 2 months ago when CM Punk was doing all his stuff. They were getting ratings in the fucking 4s. Now they're back to dismal 2.6. Why? I know why. CM Punk's not in the limelight anymore. Alberto Del Rio is champion. That's going to put butts in the seats. John Cena, which has caused more butts to leave from seats than he actually fucking put in this day and age. And you have Triple H on top of that, who nobody really fucking misses. And Kevin Nash. Yeah, good going WWE for destroying whatever fucking new fan base you possibly could have had. Then next thing you know, fucking Miz and Truth come down. They start fucking up everybody in the ring. Truth beat up a couple cameramen. Yeah, that's great. Can't win no WWE titles, but you can beat up on people. All the rosterers out there trying to, break everything up. Triple H started beating up on the Miz after they got arrested willingly. But I give this match a 2.5 out of 5. It really wasn't what I wanted it to be. But then we have Vengeance. WWE is actually bringing back Vengeance in October. So we have that. We have Bound for Glory. I'm heading to New York in December 17th for Final Battle, presented to you by Ring of Honor. And I'm really, really hoping that Nigel McGuinness goes up, or Desmond Wolfe, whatever you want to fucking call him. His name is Nigel. Fuck Desmond Wolfe. Nigel's the real deal. And I'm hoping that he goes up against Davey Richards for that ROH World title, because that will be one to write home about. Oh, man. But anyway, I give overall this pay-per-view a 7.5 out of 5. It's not the best thing they've done all year, but it's far from the worst. Because remember, Capital Punishment gave that shit like a 5 or a 4 or something like that. But hang in there, people. They wrestling may get better, but as far as this one goes, Randy Orton and Mark Henry would have done it. That was probably the best match on the card. In the first match between Christian and Sheamus, anything outside of that you could miss. This is something that it really wouldn't matter if you miss it. This is Tough Tony Ant signing off once again. Peace, love, respect the business, and have a good night, because I have to get up at 5:30 in the